My word that I have sent, that have come out from my mouth, shall not come back to me void. It's just showing you how much power the word of God has. And he has created us in his image. So the things that we say, Matt, I'm not saying that we can create things like God did, but we have the ability to cause life or to cause death in somebody else's life. A lot of people die because of the things they say. What was it? I think it was a few months ago. That was during the series of Ephesians when I think Hens mentioned Charlie Kirk died, and I was like, "Who's this?" And I went on my phone. And I was like, "Oh, him." I was like, "Dang, that hurts." And when I thought about it, it was like people got mad because of what he said. Death, power of the tongue, death. Just because of what he said, someone decided to kill him. It's just to show you how much power the tongue has. It has the ability to create something in somebody's heart, anger, frustration, all of these things, for that person to have that idea, I need to get him out. It just to show you life and death are in the power of the tongue. So Proverbs 12 verse 18, it says, the tongue of the wise brings healing. The tongue of the wise brings healing. The tongue of the wise, if it says the tongue of the wise brings healing, meaning if it does not bring healing, that means you're a fool. It's just that simple. That's just what the Bible. The tongue of the wise brings healing. If we break it down, if you're a fool, your words will not bring healing. That means, what kind of words are we speaking to people? Is it words of healing or is it words of destruction? Proverbs 15 verse 5 says, a gentle tongue is a tree of life. So if you want to take, I think these are in your notes now. If they're not, you can write them down. All right, so we're gonna get started with this is James 3 verse 1 to 5. This is very interesting. My brethren, let not many of you become teachers, knowing that we shall receive a stricter judgment. This has been a verse that has been, to me, this has been a verse. I've been staying away from the title teacher. That's for me. I have been staying away from the title teacher just because of this verse alone. If I could remove that verse, I would remove it. But that's the Bible. We got to stick to the Bible. I do not like that verse, but it is what it is. So this has been a verse where anytime someone is calling me, oh, you teaching? And I'm like, it irks me because I remember that verse. Because it comes with a stricter judgment as teachers. Because notice James is saying, let not many of you become teachers, because there were some people in his church that were trying to become teachers. They were trying to become people where people look up to them because of the things that comes out of their mouth. And whenever someone takes the title teacher, there's also a greater level of responsibility, because with what you say, you're able to impact other people with it too. It's not just you. We'll talk about it later on in the book of Proverbs. It mentions that too. So James is saying, knowing that we shall receive a stricter judgment. Notice he is a teacher himself, and he is not excluding himself from the stricter judgment. He's telling them, let not many of you become teachers, because he himself is a teacher. And he's not excluding himself from the responsibility of a teacher. For we all stumble in many things. Meaning all of us have certain things that we struggle with. Some of us it's anger. Some of us it's not able to bridle our tongue. Some of us it's unforgiveness. Some it's lust. Some is other things that we struggle with. But look at what James says. If anyone does not stumble in word, he's a perfect man. If anyone does not stumble in words, he's a perfect man, able to bridle the whole body. Indeed, we put bits in horses' mouth that they may obey us, and we turn their whole body. Look also at ships, although they are so large and are driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder, wherever the pilot desires. Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boast great things. Just a small member of the body, but it says great things, exaggerate a bunch of things. So now, how does the tongue control the body? Jesus says in Matthew 15, it says, it is not what comes out of a man's mouth that defiles him. It is not what comes into a man's mouth that defiles him, but it is what comes out of it. But why is it the thing that's come out of your mouth that defiles you? Because what comes in your mouth comes in and then gets out. Food. But what comes out of your mouth cannot, what comes out of your mouth, it defiles you because it comes from your heart. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if your heart is defiled, then your speech will also be defiled. So if you're saying, I'm a Christian, but your speech is not acting like a Christian, that means even though you have faith, you're not showing the work of it by your speech. So if anyone does not stumble in words, he's a perfect man. Perfect man means maturity. There's levels of maturity as a Christian, able to bridle the whole body. So it says, indeed, we put bits in horses' mouth that they may obey us, and we turn the whole body. So I looked it up. So bits in horse's mouth. The reason why the horse is moving left and moving right. So there's something that they put in the horse mouth that enters here, and a horse mouth is very sensitive. So whenever they pull it this side, the horse is going left. Whenever they pull it that side, the horse is going right. And whenever they pull it like this, the horse either stops or slows down. Whenever they do this, the horse speeds up. So notice something very small is able to turn the horse where it needs to go. Something, just a small bit, is able to either speed up the horse or slow down the horse. That's the same comparison that James is trying to make here. He's saying, just like a bit in a horse mouth, because a horse mouth is very sensitive, something that small, and because of the sensitivity of the horse's mouth, is able to turn the horse body to go anywhere it wants to go, because it is the base that controls the body. Just like the tongue is able to control what we do, because the tongue is the wheel of your destiny. The tongue is the steering wheel of your destiny. So if you don't control it, then that should tell you where your destiny is going to.
That's why you let Jesus take the wheel.
So verse 4, look at also ships. Although they are so large, they are driven by fierce wind. They are turned by a very small rudder or the pallet. How many of you guys have watched Pirate of Caribbean? Okay, you guys are not Christians. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I remember watching Pirate of Caribbean, and then yes, I watched it. Yes. So there's this small rudder wherever they would be on the sea, wherever they turn it, even Titanic, wherever they turn it, the boat, that's where the ship will go. So James is referring to the pilot controlling the rudder of the ship. So if it goes like this, then the ship goes to the right. If it goes like this, then the ship goes to the left. And then it says, look at also ships, although they are so large and they are driven by fierce wind. There are some ships that they have this big thing on top of them that the I forgot what this is called. Sail, the sail. So the sail is the thing that is pushing the boat because of the wind that is helping it to go wherever the wind is going. So it is driven by the fierce wind, but it says they are turned by a very small rudder. So even though the wind is pushing it this way, it's still able to turn another way because of the tongue. So James is making that comparison. If we can break it down, because when we are in a tough time, when we are being driven by a fierce wind, when we're in a tough time, when the wind is blowing, so let's say the our life is like the boat, and tough times are the wind. So whenever the wind is blowing, it's pushing us away. But because of the rudder that we're turning, our tongue, the things you say to yourself when you're in a tough season, the thing you say to yourself when you're feeling discouraged. So let's say you're feeling discouraged, you just tell yourself, you know what, I'm never gonna make it. I'm just nothing. I'm not worthy. Because if you say that to yourself, you're enforcing that belief that keeps you in that situation. And just like Jesus said, let it be done according to your faith. If you keep speaking negativity over your life, then let it be done according to your faith. Because it is with the heart that we believe, and what we believe, what we say out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So because you speak it is because the reason why you speak it is because you believe it. And if you believe it, then that's how you'll stay. Let it be done according to your faith. So even the tongue is a little member. So he's making the comparison of the horse and also the ship at the same time. How the bit is able to control the horse, and also the rudder is able to control the ship. And he's saying the tongue is the same way too, a small member, but is able to control the whole body and boasts great things. Sometimes when we tell someone a story about ourselves, or whenever we have conflict with somebody else, we try to make ourselves look like the hero of the story that we created. Sometimes we're like, this happened, or whenever we are in conflict, whether with our boss, whether we have conflict with anyone, we try to, just like it says, the tongue boasts great things. See how great a forest fire a little fire kindles. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. I remember I was watching a movie, it's called The Bus. I think it was played by, I forgot the name. I forgot his name. But the fire, the movie was about how the California fire started. And then it didn't start like they just dropped a big fire in the forest. What happened was there was a circuit, and then electric pole fell, and it started a small fire. And then because it wasn't extinguished immediately, what happened? The fire started spreading. And the more the fire spread, the less it makes it harder for the fire to be shut down. So this something that started as a small fire started spreading all throughout the forest. So this is what James is referring to. See how great a forest a little fire kindles, and the tongue is like a fire. So the tongue can spark internal fires in your whole being, a world of iniquity. You can say a bunch of things to other people. You can you can actually torment somebody's soul by the words that you say. Like certain things, certain people are hurt by the things that their parents said in childhood, and they're still dealing with it now. And I heard something that was mentioned.